Good morning. Jotting something down really quickly. That is one of the things I love most about my Freedom and Flow planner. There is a sheet that is specifically for brain dump, so you don't feel like you have to organize all of your thoughts all at once. But I just wanted to say good morning to you all. Thank you so much for joining me for the Plan Live with Me session. I do these bi-weekly. I have taken the summer off because I was traveling, my kids were out of town, and I was enjoying the peace and quiet, and also just enjoying getting out of bed at whatever time I saw fit. Now my children are back from their annual Nana and Pawpaw summer camp. My daughter's actually over here sleeping, so she might or might not peek in at some point. But I'm so glad to have you all here back with me for our Plan With Me sessions. If you don't know how these work, we bring in our planners, notebooks. I have my Freedom and Flow planner here, which is what I'll be teaching slash planning from and into. You can grab yours at briannalightfootsmith.com/flow. If as we are going through this, you realize like, man, I really like that style of planning. I like that it's not necessarily a big checklist or just this ongoing document that makes me feel like I can never get anything accomplished. So I did drop that, and that will be in the I'm so used to my podcast. I was going to say that will be in the show notes, but that will also be in the description underneath the video. So let's get into it because we're here to be efficient. I always love to show people that with my planner, and even with my BLT planning method, you really can plan your week in 20 minutes, uh, no more than 30 minutes, depending on how long you are taking to assess past week successes or rooms for improvement. And so, what we're going to do, if you do have a Freedom and Flow planner, we're going to open up to our BLT sheet. We are in the week of the 17th. The planner is actually designed with a Monday start date for anyone who that matters for. And so whenever I go in here to put week of, I put week of 8/17/26 for this week. Sometimes I'll put the 8/17 through 8/24 if I want to put the date range, but this week I'm just going to put 8/17/26. So the very first part of this planning session, we are going to brain dump the things that we want to get accomplished. And they can be within this week, they can be before the month comes to an end. The goal is really to get you out of your head so that you can see things on paper and decide, you know what? That's actually not a priority for this morning, or that's actually not a priority for this week. But being able to see it on paper closes that tab in your brain so you're not constantly cycling through those same things. So I'm going to give us a few minutes to drop in our brain dumps. And I am doing this live with you all. I had a few things that I jotted down yesterday as I was preparing for this morning. But by and large, your girl is doing this in real time with you because, like I said, I want you to see that you really can plan your week in less than 30 minutes. So I'm going to drop some things in here. I'm excited because I'm having an event. It's a virtual event. It'll be Sunday, August 23rd. Sunday, August 30th. And so I need to do promotions for that event this week. I also need to finish fall finance vision board. I love talking about finances. I'm not really sure where that love came from. Maybe it's from the fact that my dad helped me open up my first bank account when I was a kid. I remember getting my first credit card at 16 so that I could establish credit. And that was incredible. Like, I did not realize how advanced my dad was in helping set me and my sister up for financial success. And so I have a financial tool that I made um, using Claude actually, and I have really been enjoying it. I also have a Freedom and Flow financial tool that I will also drop in the chat. And the thing I love about this particular tool is it's really great if you're someone who has fluctuating income because many of us do, whether that is because you are running a business. And so some months you might have a ton of funds, other months it might seem like you ain't got any funds. Or if you're someone who, you just have a lot of competing financial priorities, this financial planner, it's a digital tool, is really helpful as well. So I just dropped that in the chat. All right, so I'm going to finish my fall financial vision board based on goals that we have over the next few months. Me and my husband, things that we got to get done. What other things do I need to do this week? I have lots of meetings about bringing my rhythm reset to some organizations to help with employee retention. I do workshops. Hey, Marche. I do workshops for individuals, but also organizations that are really looking to increase company morale, increase and improve company culture. And so I have some conversations happening this week with some individuals who are looking to bring the rhythm reset to their team. So I'm excited. And if you are a praying person, please pray for your girl, because I was sharing with some ladies earlier that the the increase could be very large, and I just want to make sure I'm stewarding well over what God has given me now. So when increase comes, I'm not acting brand new. It's like, oh, I'm just going to do the same thing I did when I had little, because you say, "He who is faithful over a few things will be ruler over many." So we're dropping in, Marche. We're dropping in our brain dump tasks. So if you open up your planner, I know you've got one, that's what we're doing. We're on the B of the BLT method. So I have some follow-up meetings. What else do I have this week? I'm taking a Pilates class. I'm very, very excited about that. This will be my third one of the year. Truly, I want to be a Pilates girl. Like, I'm so about it. And I see why the Pilates girls are as fit as they are, because Pilates is no joke. And it's so fun. I really love the concentrated exercise method and being able to focus on a specific muscle group. It's really nice. Let's see, Pilates. I often will drop things in my notes throughout the week so that when I sit down in front of my planner, I am able to put everything here as well. It's just kind of like having a second set of eyes, even though they're still just my eyes, but being able to see it in two places can confirm, oh, yes, that's definitely something I said I wanted to get done. So I'd made some notes this morning to make a few calls. Let's see what else we got. Have to order another bank card again because my daughter is constantly opening up my wallet and dumping things on the ground, only for me to never find them again. First, well, and so one of the things I put in the title was that you do not have to plan from a place of panic. You can plan from a place of peace. And as we move to the L part of our BLT, I think that it's a really great place to talk about this because many of us plan from a place of anxiety because we haven't actually sat down to identify what's a priority to us in this season. And we were talking about finances earlier, and I think finance is a great way to illustrate this because if you are someone who is trying to pay off debt, trying to raise your credit score, but you're also trying to save for a home, and you're also trying to build up your emergency savings, and you're also trying to invest, like those are competing priorities. And at some point, you have to be willing to say, okay, I'm going to do this particular thing for the next 90, 120, 150 days, or even if it's I'm going to do this particular thing until we reach this specific funding amount and then I'll move on to the next financial priority. That can be so big and freeing your mind up from feeling like, okay, so what are we doing? What's a priority? What isn't? But it also can free you up to not feel guilt or angst around the fact that you're not making progress in one particular bucket in your finances because you can tell yourself, I don't have to focus on that because I'm focused on this other goal in this season. And I believe that that is really important for anyone, whether you are working in a corporate space, whether you are an entrepreneur like myself, whether you are a full time stay at home parent, being able to identify really like 3 things that you wanna accomplish per season, I think can really help you to move through life, not just your month or your days. Help you move through life at a far less hurried pace because you are not feeling like you're constantly trying to beat the clock. You're trusting the process and you're understanding that there is no such thing as an overnight success, and I have had to come to grips with that constantly. I will get upset because I will feel like I'm making huge progress and then it seems like progress stalls. And something that I've had to make peace with is sometimes it's not that the progress stalled, sometimes it's that you did what you were supposed to do for that particular season, for that particular assignment, and now it's time to move on to another assignment. And if we're finding our identity in these particular things that we are able to check off our list, then when we're in a season where things maybe are slower going because the next thing we're building towards takes a little bit more time than we are accustomed to giving other things, then we get impatient and then we start panicking. And so I want to encourage you to trust the process. I know we hear that so often. I know we hear the journey is the destination, but it is absolutely true because whatever you are working on is actually building something up in you. So I just want to free y'all up there because we have less than 5 months of this year left, got 4.5 months left, right? And I think that knowing that if you are able to do fewer things better, you will actually feel more of like a success at the end of the year than if you do a bunch of things haphazardly because you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm running out of time. That's not the case, honey. God willing, on January 1st, 2027, we will wake up and we will do continue to move in the same direction that we've been moving in all this time. It's not There's not some huge, like, overturn that happens in January, and I have felt that more and more over the past several years. I'm like, whatever habits I started building in October, those are the same things I wanna be doing in January because that's gonna carry me to April, and that's gonna carry me to September, and so I wanna encourage you with that same thing. So, with the list by priority, the this block is intentionally designed where you are only putting 3 things on your list for the day, and the reason is what I just said. We don't wanna have competing priorities. I also am a big proponent of batching tasks. So batching similar tasks. If you know you are a content creator and you make videos for YouTube or you do shorts for Instagram, recording all your videos in one day is good. And then maybe you edit on a different day so that you're not pulling on different parts of your brain in order for you to focus. So I'm going to look at the tasks that I've listed and see what things are similar, what things actually need to be on this list piece. But then there are also, if you see the take time section down here, it actually just has what the task is and what the deadline is. This is a perfect section for anything like doctor's appointments, one-time things that you need to do that don't need to take up a whole block. If you think of these blocks more like projects, and then these things down here more like tasks, then that will also help you when we move to the weekly layout portion. So I have this opened up. I love the flat lay, so I'm able to see it all together. I know typically I do not do any heavy lifting work on Mondays because I have 4 children. We are bouncing back from the weekend. Yes, they're in school now, but well, 3 out of 4 are in school now. But still, I try not to feel like I gotta hit the ground running because that is also a way that I practice operating from a place of peace and not panic. If I set myself up well and I stewarded my time well last week, then I don't feel like I have to hit Monday feeling anxious of all the things that are waiting for me. So I do want to send out some promo stuff for my Plan Your Peace event. And I think that may be my only task for today. Because like I said, I normally keep Mondays light. I also don't send follow-up emails on Mondays because people's inboxes are usually overflowing, sometimes from the people who don't have solidified work-life boundaries and have been emailing people over the weekend. So I typically will send up follow-up emails to people on Tuesday. So I'm going to put that on my Tuesday list. Tuesday is the 18th, so I'll put 8/18 as the deadline. Just filling this stuff in. There is actually a space on my site where you can get a free 1 week layout. So if you go to briannalightfootsmith.com, it'll actually let you print out this BLT. And I want to say, yes, if you go to my Substack, you can do that. That's actually a better place to go. And it's practicing the pause. .substack.com. So I just gave myself another task. I know I have about an hour drive on Wednesday when I'm going to that Pilates class. So I'm actually going to put the calls that I need to make, I'm going to put them for Wednesday. Which is the 19th. So I have one here. I need to do some updates to my website, so I will do those probably on Thursday. I like to keep tech things towards the end of the week because when I had done my energy audit, which is a free assessment that you can take, that's also on the Brianna Lightfoot Smith website, I realized that digital tasks are a energy drain for me. So I will batch those, but I will do them towards the end of the week where it's not requiring a lot of energy. Tomorrow, I think I also need to do some recording. got to collaborate with someone on LinkedIn, and so we're doing something together, so I need to record something for that. Mm. Pilates is on Wednesday. And then, so when I am going here, you also see there's stuff in the take time list based on if something here is a task or a project. And at the end, I will count up how many things are here and see if it matches the amount of things on the other sheet, because that lets me know if something is missing or if something is just not a priority. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I just saw something I didn't put yet. I have a lot of technical tasks. I did not realize that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 tasks on my BLT task slash projects. And then on my list by priority and take time, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 2 items that didn't make it to the list. Let's see what that is. Oh, I actually had something on here twice. So one item that didn't make it on the list, which is signing up for gym membership. So I really enjoy fitness. It has been a gift, especially in my motherhood. It has been such a gift. And I have a YMCA membership for our family, but I realized I still want individual membership for myself because the gym I used to go to is open 24 hours a day, and the Y is open at 5 a.m. And sometimes 5 a.m. is when I'm getting up to have my quiet time with God. So if I am able to just go whenever I need to go, I think that that would be really helpful, especially with some things in our household schedule changing. So I'm going to sign up for that. I'll do that at the end of this week. 22. And then last piece, you guys see we're at 22 minutes. We are almost done. And that's including my time of yapping at the beginning. We're going to do the weekly layout, which is for anybody who wants to just put stuff specifically on the days it belongs. You can do that here. We got 8/17 is the date today. Hanging out with a friend. We're going to take our girls to the library. I don't know if you all noticed, but I do not have time blocks here. It is wide and open. I told people when I made this, I didn't want a planner that made me feel guilty or something I look back at and was like, huh, girl, you thought that was going to take you 30 minutes and it took you 2 hours. So I just have it as a column, and things that are in the morning, I put closer to the top of the column. Things that are in the afternoon, I put in the middle. Things that are in the evening, I put them at the bottom. And that is it. Nugget looks so peaceful on the couch sleeping. Typically on the weekly layout, I will pull things from my phone calendar. I have, and this might, for some people, y'all might be like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. But for me, knowing that I have things in multiple places also helps me to not forget them. Because I don't know if y'all have ever had those moments where you didn't realize you were supposed to be somewhere until someone called you and was like, hey, are you still coming? And you're like, coming to what? Or the networking event, or insert anything here. Thankfully, most of the things that I've forgotten have been virtual dates where people are like, oh, we can just reschedule. But the more times I write it down, likely I am to forget that it's going to happen. And there's always room on here to add tasks or events or lunch dates as they come in. So this is the cleanest part of my layout for me because I don't put everything, every single thing on here. I would typically just put the things that I know exist only in my digital calendar so that if I'm unplugging for the morning, I can still go in here and know what needs to get done. So that is it, my friends. You'll see we are at 26 minutes and we have finished planning for our week. If you do not have the Freedom and Flow planner and you want to grab it, you can go to briannalightfootsmith.com/flow. If what I was sharing earlier about finances resonates with you and you're someone who can have like feast and famine months, or you make good money, but you're finding that you're still not making progress on the goals that you want to make, you can go to briannalightfootsmith.com/freedom, and that will actually send you to our Freedom and Flow financial planner that allows you to put what your income is, what your goals are, and then it'll show you like which buckets to put things in. And when you have a month where maybe you make more than you would normally make, it'll show you where to allocate the extra. If you have a month that you make less than you normally make, then it'll show you where you can make adjustments. And so it's very fluid, it's very responsive. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I've really gotten great feedback from other women who have used it. Someone was just talking about, one of my Substack subscribers was talking about how simple it is. And if you're someone who typically avoids your numbers, this is a really great place to get started because you need to know what your numbers are if you're going to plug them in. So I hope that you all will take something that I said to heart today. I hope that you will plan from a place of peace and not panic. I want you to know that you are not behind. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, that God sees you, He knows your name, and He is working out everything in a way that is exceedingly and abundantly better than anything you could ask or think. I will see you guys on our next session in a couple weeks. All right. Bye. Thanks for joining.